Sting makes his return to Impact Wrestling, which I forgot to mention is in my hometown of Atlanta, Georgia. They were there last week. This is the pre-taped show that they taped after the when I was live last week. But Sting makes his return to Impact Wrestling. He says that in the world title match, Bully Ray had to send wave after wave of aces and eights out to wear Sting down before he beat him. Sting simply couldn't take any more at the end of the match. That's how he lost. But he says that there's one thing he couldn't get over is the fact that not one TNA Impact Wrestling superstar came to save him or help him out during the beatdown for the aces and eights. He says that he knows now what he has to do. He has to go to a place he thought he would never go again, and that is back to the family. The family known as the Main Event Mafia. That is right. He's rebuilding the Mafia for a fight against the aces and eights. But I have to wonder who's he gonna get. I mean, Booker T's in WWE as the general manager of SmackDown. Kevin Nash has 2 bad knees and can barely walk without blowing a knee out. And Scott Steiner's a loose cannon that nobody wants on their show. So, who's Sting gonna be able to get to reform the Main Event Mafia? The only one left in TNA besides Sting is the head of the Mafia, Kurt Angle. He could get him, or he could get maybe AJ Styles, or somebody else. Maybe Samoa Joe will rejoin the Mafia. Who knows? But it should be interesting to see Main Event Mafia versus the Aces and Eights. I'm predicting it'll probably end up being some kind of match at Lockdown if that's, I can't remember if Lockdown already happened, but it should be an interesting storyline to see the Mafia against the Aces and Eights. But we still have more Impact to come. Rampage Jackson is in the building, so let's get back to it. Austin Aries owns a spot in the Bound for Glory series by getting the win over Eric Young, who makes his return to Impact Wrestling to, like I said, lose to Austin Aries. Eric Young actually has his wife ODB with him, but it doesn't help as he goes for his elbow drop. Eric Young goes for his elbow drop, but takes time out to get his kids from ODB. This gives Aries the opportunity to get up to his feet and push EY off the rope, making him clutch the turnbuckle. This leads to Aries putting EY in a separate quarter and hitting his running drop kick to set up the Brainbuster for the win. Austin Aries is now in the Bound for Glory series along with his tag team partner, or former tag team partner, Bobby Roode. But coming up next is the Aces and Eights Battle Royal to decide which of them will get one spot in the PFT series. We see backstage that Bully Ray and the rest of the Aces and Eights have apparently drawn cards, and one of them got an ace, which apparently I think means that that man has been chosen to win the Battle Royal, which means the Aces and Eights are trying to rig the Battle Royal. But it looks like Doc doesn't like how the drawing turned out, but he's going along with what the club wants. But we don't know who drew the ace, or who's been chosen to win. We'll have to wait to find out. The Aces and Eights Battle Royal is next. Let's get back to the show. the Aces and Eights battle royal goes off almost without a hitch, as each member of the Aces and Eights basically eliminate themselves by jumping over the top rope. It comes down to Doc and Anderson. Anderson's been the one pretending to throw everyone out when they really been throwing themselves out by basically jumping over the ropes. Anderson first he makes his hand like a gun and shoots, pretends to shoot Briscoe with a fake air gun with his hand, but and Briscoe then basically jumps out of the ring, falls over backwards over the top rope. He then does the Hulk Hogan finger point, and tosses Bischoff over the rope. He then pushes Doc over, the other Nux. Yeah, he pushes Nux over the top rope easily because Nux is basically letting him do it. And he tells Devon to get the tables. Devon jumps over the top rope like he's going to get the tables, and then realizes he eliminated himself, but it was all part of the plan. It comes down to Doc and Anderson. Doc looks like he's about to step over the rope and allow Anderson to win, but instead he comes back in, and Anderson looks surprised and starts screaming at him that he's the sergeant at arms, he's the VP, that Anderson's the VP, and he should do what he tells him to. Doc then unleashes on Anderson and beats him down. And it looks like he's about to toss him out when Anderson gets a knee in the gut and basically tosses Doc over the top rope. The rest of the Aces and Eights start belating Doc, but instead, Taz tries to tell everyone that everything's okay as the Aces and Eights go back to the locker room. What does this mean? Does this mean Doc is Doc turning on the rest of the group? It's a dissension in the ranks of Aces and Eights. We'll have to wait to find out how that turns out. But coming up next, I believe it's our main event. A main event anywhere in the world. Kurt Angle versus AJ Styles. Before we went to a commercial, we saw Rampage Jackson backstage talking to Kurt Angle. He asked Angle what he meant by last week's comment about when Rampage is ready, he'll be glad to give him a match. Angle will be glad to give him a match. Angle will simply explain that it'd be like Angle going into Bellator and thinking that he can beat Rampage his first time. He just needs to work on his abilities in the ring, and whenever he's ready, Angle will be happy to give him a match. But coming up next, it's Angle versus Styles for the last spot in the Bound for Glory series. Who's gonna win? I'm picking AJ, but I'm not sure. We're in the middle of another phenomenal match between AJ Styles and Kurt Angle. We're on a commercial break right now. We're in the middle of another phenomenal match by Kurt Angle and AJ Styles. But just as we went to a commercial, they showed Rampage Jackson backstage, apparently watching a monitor, watching the match in progress. Does this mean Rampage is gonna get involved somehow in the match, or is it just another build towards an inevitable Rampage versus Angle match, possibly at Bound for Glory, or possibly sooner than that? If there's another pay-per-view, I'm not sure there is. Whatever happens should be interesting. Let's get back to the main event. Angle and Styles, that was Angle and Styles, that was some tremendous back and forth match. The main event. AJ gets a somewhat surprising victory after hitting a quarter DDT on Angle, who that basically took Angle completely out of the game. The Aces and Eights wash out in the form of Anderson, Doc, and Nux. AJ fends off Doc and Nux. Anderson tries to come in the ring, but by this time Angle had got back to his feet and knocks Anderson out of the ring. AJ comes up from behind Angle and rolls him up for the win. AJ is the final participant in the Bound for Glory series, and my pick to win the entire series and beat Bully Ray for the world title at Bound for Glory. After the match is over, Doc and Nux and Anderson won back in the ring and start triple teaming Angle. This brings out a surprising savior in the form of Rampage Jackson, who comes out swinging his chain and clearing the ring of the entire Aces group. Where will this go? Where will this go next week? Are Rampage and Angle now on the same team? Will Rampage somehow be involved in the new main event Mafia? That would be interesting for me to see, because Angle is the founding father of the main event Mafia. He was the original leader of the group, along with Sting. That could make an interesting team to battle Aces and Eights in the coming weeks. But that's the end of TNA Impact for this week. And remember to follow my subscribers, to follow my sponsors, the Elite, the DreamElite.com, my new sponsor. Follow them and follow me as I bring you SmackDown review next week. This week, Friday, I'll be reviewing SmackDown. But that's the end of Impact. See you tomorrow and Monday for SmackDown and Raw, and next week for Impact Wrestling. See you then.